Yeah, this is primetime Poulton. Keep it entertaining. You already knowin'. Outworking everybody and he don't ever quit. Talking about plenty comics like Graveyard Shift, Sea Dogs, Fighting Wolf, U.S. Assassin. Doing just what he loves. This is his passion. Bring more value to your dollar. No, I'm not frontin'. That's how just a writer became a moral compass. This is primetime Poulton. This is primetime Poulton. Let's go. It's all about the boom. TMC, baby. It's all about the boom. Cowboy Phil, baby. It's Cowboy Phil. Hit him with the body slam, elbow drop. TMC, Cowboy Phil, laid pot guys. What you see in the ring are two monsters. Energy of a king and of a rock star. Yeah, drop kicks probably make your heart stop. You ain't ready, super scary, and they staying on top. Hit a ding ding, better watch yourself. It's TMC and Cowboy Phil. Late pot guys, yeah, they the real deal. It's TMC and Cowboy Phil. 2 times a week, you can't compete. They body slam you down, now you taste the beat. The champions, they legendary, nobody like them. Coming for the belt, yeah, they coming for the title. Hey, it's all about the boom. TMC, baby. TMC, baby. Yeah. It's all about the boom. Cowboy Phil, baby. Let's go. Phil, baby. Hey. Hey, let's go.
What's up, guys? It's the Hall of Famers. The Moral Compass, Mark Poulton. The Cowboy, Phil McNulty. The Pod Gods. How's everyone doing tonight? Phil, man, what an honor last night.
I just could not believe, that we were inducted. I'm so glad that
the first two.
I was just about to say, I am so glad we were able to, rewind time a bit and take our rightful places as the first 2 inductees.
Absolutely. What a feeling, man. What a night. Not just for our sake, but for the competitors. Ink Spots go to face King Davis. Any predictions?
Pain. But I seriously think this is Ink Spot's title. I mean, we've seen for weeks now, maybe a month and a half, the national treasure, Don Chin, opponent after opponent, get an early beating in there first and then hit him with that sleeper hold, that chin lock, the Don Chin lock. That Don Chin didn't get one move of offense in.
It was a squash match.
Ink
Spots is a beast, and if I was King Davis, I would be a little scared.
I would too. It's like AJ Styles and Omos right now. One is excellent at what they do, and the other is a behemoth.
I think last night also you found your new favorite CGWF wrestler in Chubb.
I'm going to say it here. First of all, we got a big tag team match tonight. I think we have 2 members of the Primetime 6 joining together to come back in.
I think they defected and they're trying to start their own thing.
We'll have to see. You don't leave the Primetime 6. We leave you.
Life.
Yes.
Yeah, but Joe Sonntag, Sean Ahrendt, they're taking on Lord Crackhead and OC Steve. OC Steve, who's been on the sidelines chirping. He's not happy about his spot, not happy about his booking. Tonight's OC Steve's chance to prove something to all the naysayers.
Right. I'm about to say, here you go, big fella. Here's your chance. And then maybe you can join the Immortals, Cowboy Phil, and the Moral Compass in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. So we got to do a little shilling first, but first we're going to talk to the chat. We got Nikatronis here. He was first. Bow. Michael Green. What's up, Mark? What's up, Mike? Thanks for joining us. Leandro, I'm not getting the notifications. What the heck? Leandro, second to none. That's right. The Hall of Famers are second to no one. And Leandro, I hope you like that shout out during my Hall of Fame speech. I couldn't have done it without you, man. Always singing my praises, always going wherever needed to spread the wisdom of the moral compass. Thank you. Absolutely. The original first Hall of Famers. Man to be. I think McSix rigged it, Leandro. Nicotronis says that was hilarious. There he is. Get ready for your big match, OC Steve. Don Chin. I'm all slathered in Ben Gay due to Ink Spot's beating. Don, you had a hell of a run. You were up up against a man beast in Ink Spots. We're proud of you. We're proud of your performance.
Don Chin has become the face of CGWE because we get the F out here on Wednesdays.
Yep.
It's just fantastic to fight alongside Don Chin. I must say, very glad to be part of the Primetime Six.
That's why he's the national treasure. Nicotronis saying McSix definitely did rig it. I don't know about that.
I don't think so. I just think we here are biased, and we saw a competitor who we haven't seen in a while go up against someone who's been in back-to-back matches.
Look, I called all the matches in this tournament. Ink Spots was a beast throughout. He just destroyed all the competition.
Yeah.
Ex-Villain in the house. What's up? Don Chin says, Aaron is still talking smack against me. Don't let him back into the Primetime Six. As far as I'm concerned, he's out. You don't turn your back on the moral compass and then weasel your way in. No.
Well, I mean, technically, in the Primetime Six, forgive me, the SmackDown Six, I'm putting us above the... So, it's not like they all got along.
No.
They were just the draws, the money makers. So really, our faction is more the Primetime Four, but we include the odd and stuff guys in there because, gotta admit, they're draw power, baby.
Yeah. Phil, breaking news. Tony Khan just officially announced he bought Ring of Honor. I messaged you this morning. What's the chances Cody Rhodes is going to show up as the on-air boss of Ring of Honor and start a little feud?
I just think this is. We'll get into it later, probably next week on Monday when we. I'm just throwing this out there, assuming Mark can podcast on Monday about going over AEW Revolution, which is on Sunday, which we will be watching.
Yep.
So we'll probably add more into that, but how does this impact?
So here's the thing. What did Tony Khan actually buy? I'm sure he got the tape library, but all the wrestlers were released of their contract except a few who had longer term deals. I mean, Flip Gordon, one of those people. And I think those guys, their contracts were supposed to expire in April after the Supercard, their new relaunch pay-per-view. What happens there? Are these people still under contract? And speaking of Flip Gordon, who happened to show up on Being the Elite this week?
Flip Gordon, the mercenary, part of the U.S. Assassin franchise, is probably all elite. Let's face it. If you are Tony Khan and you just bought ROH, why wouldn't you put one of the hottest, free agents, quote unquote? Yep. You've got him now. This is your chance to say, guess what, Sammy? Guess who your next contender is for that TNT title?
So Flip not only met up with the Young Bucks this week, but I don't know if you saw the video on his Instagram he posted prior to that Being the Elite. He was still on the search. He couldn't find anyone. Going to all the old hangouts. He went to Cracker Barrel. Couldn't find the Bucks. Couldn't find Cody. But you know who he did find? The villain, Marty Scurll.
Oh, my goodness. I think enough time has passed. Enough time has passed.
Everyone deserves a second chance, Phil.
Right.
And Marty finally clued Flip in and told him it's the year 2022. And that's how he was finally able to find the Young Bucks, apparently. All right, we're still working our ways through the chat. Oh, Leandro, his eyes were sweating when I gave him that shout out during my speech. Amanda B doing the Lord's work, sharing those links. Leandro Donchin, I couldn't be prouder of the heart you brought to the ring. Ink Spots is a very big, strong dude. I think after some Wheaties and spinach, you can try again after an 80s training montage. Got Snuggy in the chat. What's up, Snuggy? And Slavic one. What's up? That's a new name here, Phil.
What up? Well,
All
I'm
right.
going to call you SO, Slavic one.
All right. Amanda B already shared the link, but Graveyard Shift, only 8 days left in the campaign, Phil. We're over 127,000. You know what? I haven't played the video in a long time. Let's play the video.
Graveyard Shift, Volume 4 goes into overdrive where Volume 3 ended. A signal from Earth delivered beyond the known universe draws the envious eye of an ancient alien empire. The old gods are returning, and Graveyard Shift can't save the world alone. They'll need an army to fight the forces of the Black Emperor, making for uneasy alliances. Watch as Vlad, Lilith, Mick, Sea Urchin, Brahm, Nightwalker, and more gather a massive team of superhumans and soldiers to commit first strike against this new alien threat. Join us for Graveyard Shift Volume 4, The Black Emperor, Part 1 of a massive 3-part storyline about heroes and sacrifice. Only on Indiegogo.
So, Phil, I have a feeling this campaign's doing well, but I think Volume 5 is going to do even better because all the people who miss out on this one, they're going to have regret when these backers get their books, which they're going to get them real soon because the book's done and the campaign's almost over. So this book's going to print real soon. But when they find out how epic this story is and how many key new heroes appear in this volume, I mean, we got the man right here, Death Rider. We got Agent Plague. So many new heroes appear. It's an epic volume as far as I'm concerned. And Jose's artwork is just absolutely breathtaking. 8 days left, guys. Don't miss out. You're going to regret it. That's not the only book we're shilling today, though, Phil. We got another campaign currently live. We have, where can I find it? Here it is. The Black Owl. There you guys have it. Black Owl, Book 1. Mine and Greg Paulson's take on the public domain character, the Black Owl. We've reimagined him for the modern age, but for those people that still love the golden age look at the character, don't worry. There's plenty of flashbacks.
And I think you'll be very pleased with the artwork that I am doing. Yeah. If you Golden Age fans are going to enjoy the pinup that I have going for you.
Cowboy Phil's working on a stretch goal print for me. I've already seen a little sneak preview of it. It's going to be fantastic. And I'm so proud of this book. Actually, you know what? I was talking to Dex this week, Phil, and he's going to have the colors done by Friday. So we're not even a week into the campaign, and the book's going to be done. This is going to be the fastest turnaround, I think, ever for one of my books.
I love what I'm seeing out of Black Owl, and I'm not just saying that because I'm doing artwork for it. I'm saying that because Greg's artwork reminds me very much of Steve Scroce from Gambit Artist back in the 90s, worked on Spider-Man and some of the X-Men in the early 2000s. And along with Mark's writing, I'm excited to get this book in my hands, to be honest. This is going to be awesome.
I think Greg has a little Ringo in him too. Mike Ware Ringo.
Yes, yeah. It's got that, like, after the 7 from Image left Marvel, you had to get more storyboard artists, more storytellers, right? More artists who were going to be crisp and clean and efficient and just put out a nice, good-looking book. And that's exactly what Greg does. Nice, clean lines, action, tells a good story. It's very much it feels very much like a storyteller book, which I love to read.
And one last thing I want to highlight before we get to the wrestling. Look at this cover by Shelby Robertson, Phil.
Nice.
Absolutely incredible. Black Owl, we're only, what are we? We're 5 days into the campaign, already over 9,000. So close to unlocking that $10,000 stretch goal. So please, if you haven't checked out the book, go check it out on Indiegogo. And if you've already backed it, please share the link. Let your friends know. All right, Phil. Let's catch up with the chat before we get to ringside. Leandro's jumping the gun. He's talking a little NXT already, but he's completely disappointed that NXT didn't have Nikita Lyons the other day, topping a lady with the splits. Daggone it, she's a good face sitter. Just saying. I think Nikita Lyons has a fan in Leandro.
Really? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, Nikatronis apparently a fan too. The Slavic
he wants to marry and make her Nikita Tronis.
Slavic one says, Mark, how much of the story will I miss out if I just get the main books and none of the supplemental books? So Graveyard Shift, if you pass on supplemental book 3, you won't miss any of the main story action. What you'll miss out on is backstory to Brahm. In volume 3, I only had maybe 2 or 4 pages to fill people in on Brahm's backstory. Phil Diaz is getting 48 pages. You really get to know the character. If you were a fan of Brahm in volume 3, and I think he was probably the breakout character in that volume. So cool. He's kind of our Cable, Phil. I think you would want the supplemental, but it's not necessary reading. It's not required reading if you just want to follow the main story. Snuggie, Graveyard Shift 4 and Black Owl, both first day backs. Thank you, Snuggie. And Leandro is excited, and he's not even talking about Nikita Lyons, and he's excited. We got Joe Sonntag in the chat. He's got a big match. He should be getting ready. Oh, Eddie Winkler's in the chat. Eddie Winkler, Black Owl backer number 1. All right, Phil, we got something different tonight. We're not in Atlantic City. We're in North Carolina in the very new, just minted Kings Castle Arena. We're breaking it in before the big King of That Thing pay-per-view.
Sort of getting people their feet wet for the KOT tournament.
And of course, they had to have the Hall of Famers, the A-Team, break in the new arena.
Who better?
Yep. Who better? All right. We're going to go to North Carolina, Phil.
That's who Don Chin is. He's our Chris Canyon.
Look at this palatial arena, Phil.
Look at that. The chair.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ink Spots smashes that throne on Saturday. Look at these guys. They made up. They're attacking the tag team division. They're undisputed, Phil. I think Joe's even slimmed down a bit.
Joe is looking good. I think he's refreshed. Do you think this is the match where JMS gets off the schneid?
I don't know. He's looking good. He's looking leaner. You know, I knew, John Malin was bad news for Joe. Had him drinking that wolf's milk, gave him a bit of a tummy. He left John Malin in the dust. He slimmed down, and he's back reunited with his Ott and Stuff partner. It brings a tear to my eyes. There's no chance they're getting back into the primetime 6, but I wish them well.
We're just like, we are sort of like the NWO. It is for life. And when you leave, we will haunt you down for life. Look at Stinger. He couldn't even change companies without them following him.
Look at this. The eerie lighting. That can only mean one thing. It's that spooky wizard, Phil. Lord Crackhead. What a shot of the arena.
What a great arena we are in today. Look at OC Steve. He's coming in. He's
their opponents from the United States of America.
Lord Crackhead has a little bit of a pep in his step this week.
I think, you know what? Maybe he's living the OC Steve clean life this week.
Oh, Snuggies with Team Mayhem. He's on OC Steve and Lord Crackhead's side. What an entrance. This is OC Steve's moment, man. This is what he's been online asking for. He just wants a shot, Phil.
There's no more keyboard to hide behind. There's no more streams to make his presence known. We all know the name OC Steve. Now we got to see if he's going to bring the fire.
They just gave him the pyro, Phil.
This may be a 1-week thing if OC Steve does not win this match. This may be the first and last time the man gets pyro.
It seems like the office is behind him so far. Look at that ring. Oh, Texas Tornado rules here.
Boos right off the bat for the Ott and Stuff team.
I think these Texas Tornado rules are right in Sean's wheelhouse. He's a brawler.
He is just throwing fists. A nice
murder in OC Steve. Oh, OC Steve's fighting back. Lord Crackhead taking it to Sonntag. Sonntag, his luck hasn't changed, even though he's back with Ahrendt.
I got to give it to Sean Ahrendt. The man got pummeled by Don Shin. And now he's reforming with his buddy, bringing the fight to OC Steve, a man who has everything to lose.
OC Steve working over Sean. Whips him into the corner, but misses.
And so does Ahrendt with that flying elbow.
Sean just dumps him over his shoulder and then flexes. Got the Ott and Stuff boys going for a pinfall.
Very precarious spot to have Lord Crackhead in there by himself.
Sean's trying to get the fans going with an Ott and Stuff chant. Not working. They are not fan favorites here at the King's Castle. Steve, with the overhead suplex, just dumps Sonntag on his head.
I mean, I'd never been to North Carolina, but if I was there, I assume the people would look like Lord Crackhead.
The double team on Ahrendt. Ahren's got to be thinking, why did I ever get back together with Joe? OC Steve just taking apart Sean Ahrendt.
First real pop we heard.
Man, the fans are hating this match, Phil. they don't like any of the guys. Lord Crackhead has a ladder.
The people of North
just
Carolina.
took out Sean with it.
Man, this may go down in history as one of the most hated matches to ever air in the
This is a heel crowd.
CGWF.
Oh, a kick to the gut by Sean. Almost a 3 count. Sean saved it. Man, the fans hate everything about this match.
I'm not sure Sean knew that his boy was getting covered because he heard the fans booing and he assumed it was for JMS.
Joe's jaw-jacking with the crowd. That's not going to win him over, Joe. Lord Crackhead with the big slam. What's Sonntag doing?
He's going up the corner while Crackhead is standing there. That's a rookie mistake.
Superplex by Lord Crackhead. Make the cover. You have him. You have him, guys. Oh, Lord Crackhead sizing him up. Kick to the gut. He's got him up.
Sean's just going to watch him do it.
Shoulder breaker on Sonntag. Oh, Sean just hit him with the type 1 slam. Breaks up the pinfall on Sonntag.
I agree with Don Chin.
Crackheads feel no pain. There's Ahrendt fighting dirty again.
I think it was just a matter of time before the odd and stuff boys got their wits
Big
about
power
them.
bomb.
Is Aaron striking up the band?
There's the cover. 1, 2, 3. There you have it. Ott and Stuff, the winners. Joe Sonntag's unlucky streak has ended.
All thanks to Sean Ahrendt. His back must be hurting from carrying JMS.
Man, I would say watch out tag team division, but these guys didn't impress me at all, Phil.
And you know who else wasn't impressed?
That North Carolina crowd, man.
Absolutely.
I hope this isn't a precursor of what to expect Saturday night, because if they're this hard on the pay-per-view, that's going to be a shame, man. Don Chin blames Danny.
I think OC Steve called his shot, and I think he was in a bad position this week.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Crack Pack is not happy.
your winners and stuff.
Do we have a new feud based out of the Odd and Stuff crew versus the Crackheads?
Yeah, I think Crack Pack's not happy. They need their revenge, man. What a match. Phil, only here on the podcast do you get action this terrible that the whole crowd just poo-poos it.
You know what? They heard that a couple Hall of Famers were going to be at the announcers table. They saw us, and then
They wanted us in the ring, Phil.
They realized it only goes down from there.
Yep. Oh, Don Chin, Boo Fott and stuff. Amanda B, they'll smoke some crack and get over it. Leandro, what? Boo? Every trader has its day. Man, so that does it. Just one match this week. Saturday, though, King of That Thing pay-per-view. What we've been building to for the last,
Couple
2 months, it seems like. Yeah, oh my gosh. We've been calling so many matches, and it all comes down to Ink Spots versus Shane Davis for the crown. Plus, Michael Bancroft defends the world title against Kyle Ritter, who I think owes a big debt of gratitude to Cowboy Phil for securing that that title match.
You're welcome, partner.
Mandy Summers defends the women's title against her arch rival Piper. The Diaz brothers defend the tag titles against Crack Pack, our boys in Cracktimus Prime. D-Wag, is there a hotter wrestler in CGWF than D-Wag?
Not anymore. It used to be Don Chin, right? And I think D-Wag is taking over that spot.
D-Wag's probably the most beloved. Who knows? Maybe Ink Spots is the the hottest wrestler right now. But D-Wag's going to get his chance at some gold. Take it back to the dumpster. Celebrate.
I can only imagine the D-Wag promo if he secures a tag team championship.
Plus, we have a special mystery match that we're going to reveal. Fans are going to love it. Don Chin says, Phil and TMC put McSix in his place. Make sure you guys washed your hands after handling McSix. Oh, don't worry, Don. I was lathered up in disinfectant.
Let's just say, when they say when you are in the hottest storyline, you don't need the championship involved, the Pod Gods prove that right. Hottest storyline in the game over the King of That Thing tournament was the feud between the Pod Gods and Breaking Rad.
And of course, the Hall of Famers came out on top.
Of course.
Hopefully this is the last of Vince McSix's silly little videos trying to smear the good name of the Moral Compass, trying to smear the good name of Cowboy Phil. It didn't work. He got his comeuppance. And let's just leave it at that.
Right. I mean, I think we can all move on, and I am big enough to say, once the Pod Gods capture tag team gold, I think it's only right that we offer up our first title defense against the third and fourth inductees of the Hall of Fame.
What a match that would be. Darren D-Wag saying schemes and slams. Amanda, I'm sure there will be more tricks up his feather boa sleeves. Absolutely. Can't trust that guy. Phil, you ready to talk some WWE now?
Let's go for it.
So we're on, Phil, did you know we're on the road to WrestleMania?
No, but in case I forgot, someone was pointing to a sign.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of matches made. It hasn't translated into ticket sales, though, because the 2 nights, the arena is only half filled so far. They still got like 50,000 seats to sell for both nights. Yeah, mistake doing 2 nights in such a big arena, Phil?
Yes, totally. It was great when you're at the Performance Center and there's a pandemic going on, and you can make a big event seem big without fans by making it multiple nights. But when you have huge arenas and your product is on the downturn, the last thing you want to do is say, you know what's better than 5 hours of crappy wrestling? Having another 5 hours of crappy wrestling following the immediate night. Yeah. But I will say this, Raw put on a good show.
Yeah, it was a good episode of Raw this week, and it kicks off with Alpha Academy versus KO and Seth Rollins. I really love Alpha Academy, especially Chad Gable, man. That guy has been improving leaps and bounds with his character. He just gets more entertaining every week.
You know, has there been more entertaining like face turn from a heel obscurity than Alpha Academy? Because they went from being heels to winning the championship as heels. And I really think Chad Gable's Instagram post, the very genuine thank you to Otis, being friends,
Yeah.
really got fans to read it and actually went on Alpha Academy side to the point where they're now in a feud with two former world heavyweight champions.
So, Phil, it's looking like KO is in the tag team title scene, but there's being rumors that he may face Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. What do you think the chances of that actually happening are?
I think slim to none. We may get a tag team championship match and we may get an after-match stunner on Owens from Austin, but there's no way he's going back in that ring. I think the man is comfortable in his legacy. I think he's comfortable with how he retired. I think he's just comfortable with where he's at. That he doesn't need to go back in the ring. It's not like he's The Rock. It's not like he's where the man is built, jacked, and probably in better shape today than he was back 25 plus years ago.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So KO and Rollins get the pin in a non-title match over Alpha Academy. What do you think it's going to be at WrestleMania? I think it's going to be Alpha Academy versus KO, Rollins, and RK Bro.
Yes, I do. And I think we're going to get two swerves on here. I think we're going to get Riddle turning heel. And then I think we're going to get Austin coming out for the stunner. So I think we're going to get two events happening this match.
I'll take it. That wouldn't be bad at all. Next up, Omos versus T-Bar. T-Bar has a bit of a different look. Man, T-Bar is there maybe not the biggest waste in WWE, but man, they're really wasting this guy.
Dominic Dijak is a legit shoot badass fighter. He is an amazing athlete in the ring, and the guy can cut a promo. And they took away his awesome real life name of Dominic Dijak, gave him an okay name in NXT, Dominic Dijakovic, fine. And now they wasted him with T-Bar. It's just terrible.
How does Vince not see this guy? He's and not think he's a superstar. He's everything that you would think Vince loves. He's huge. He's jacked. He's good looking. I mean, you would think the guy would be a superstar.
We talk about anything that's outside of the Hogan shape and the Rock shape. If you're not the Big Show, if you're not Kane, right? If you're not bigger than 7 foot and have the weight of a 7-footer, he just doesn't see you. Think about Bray Wyatt. Great look, great character.
Yeah.
Flushed down the toilet. Braun Strowman was one of the hottest things, just not in wrestling. When a wrestler can make it in the mainstream like a Braun Strowman, and people are making GIFs about him running around the ring, just destroying people, his brawn. People at Six Flags were yelling Braun when he was at his hottest, and they didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a guy who just can't evaluate talent anymore.
Nico Tronis asks, is RKO injured? It sure looked like he was. We'll get into that match later, but yeah, it looked like Randy was in some pain.
Montez Ford tweeted out saying everyone's healthy. And I think that was, him staying in character, but also confirming he's not going to get Kofi'd.
So Omos gets the victory over T-Bar. What do you think? Omos wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal if there's one this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Becky Lynch teams up with Doudrop, who she was just feuding with, and Nikki ASH versus Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair. Could you care any less about this match, Phil?
No, I really couldn't.
I will say that hair whip that Bianca Belair uses, how is that legal?
I mean, it's part of her person.
Yeah, but man, that cracking sound is legit, and those welts on Becky Lynch's stomach are legit.
I will say I'm probably more interested in this women's title match than the other one.
Yep. No, I agree with you. Next up, we get Robert Roode versus Tommaso Ciampa. This is a feud that's going across brands, Phil. Are you enjoying this? Because I actually am.
I am. And what do you think? What do you think the payoff to this is? WrestleMania, Ciampa and a mystery partner up against the Dirty Dogs, and the mystery partner turns out to be Johnny Gargano.
Oh wow, I hadn't even thought about that, but that would be incredible.
That's the only way I see this happening.
Yeah. No, oh my gosh, Phil, you just goosebumps, man. If that was
pop. That pop, now that would be a huge pop.
But Vince, I bet Vince doesn't even know who DIY is.
No, not at all. We're putting
he's probably, who is this vanilla midget?
Didn't he sign with the other guys? No, that's Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, exactly. But man, from a a smart fan perspective, how good would a match the Dirty Dogs versus DIY be?
So good.
Absolutely.
Gargano and Ziggler, you wouldn't know which one was dead because they'd both be dying every move they took.
Next up, Reggie and Dana Brooke take on Tamina and Akira Tozawa.
I gotta admit, after this match, I thought to myself, oh God, it's another Monday Night Raw. Didn't you feel that? You were like,
yeah.
You're like, okay, Alpha Academy and Rollins and Owens open up the match. We get furthering the Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch feud in a match we really don't care about. And then you're like, all right, this is par for the course.
Yeah. The 24/7 title, Phil.
Time to go.
Time to go. The Mysterios versus the Hurt Business. Hurt Business actually gets a victory because of Miz's interference. What do you think? We're getting the Mysterios versus Miz and Logan Paul at WrestleMania. I said it last week. Logan Paul looks like he could beat up Dom Mysterio. I think they're going over.
Oh, definitely. You know this is going to be the Mysterios WrestleMania moment. I would not be surprised if Dommy gets his mask.
Oh wow!
After this match.
Well, Dom said it before that this storyline ends with, well, the whole pairing of Ray and Dom ends with Ray passing the mask on to Dom. I don't know if it's time yet.
I don't think it's gonna be handed off.
Yeah, you think they're both going to be masked?
Yes.
That'll be interesting to see. Then this is what Nicotronis was talking about. RK Bro versus Street Profits. Street Profits get the victory. Montez Ford comes off the top and maybe lands a knee on Randy's chest. Randy was rolling around in some pain afterwards.
Thank goodness, because I was having flashbacks of stupid
yeah,
go through my head.
Well, that only means Montez Ford will be world champion one day.
Yeah. 10 or 11 years later.
Then we get Damian Priest versus Finn Balor in a huge upset. Finn Balor winning the U.S. title, but finally Damian Priest turns heel.
This was awesome. We've been waiting so much for a Damian Priest heel turn and something to do with Finn Balor. Ultimately, I believe this ends with the Demon getting pinned by. I don't know if I'm just on a high after this episode, thinking that they actually are creative from the RK Bro match to the end of the show was really well booked, really planned out, really well thought out. Does this end with Damian Priest having his own gimmicked character defeating Finn Balor, or is it just straight up Damian Priest beating the Demon?
Oh, I think it's just straight up Damian Priest. And I don't even think we get the Demon.
Oh, how can you not? You got WrestleMania and SummerSlam, you at least have to break out the Demon.
Yeah, I don't know. Last time we saw the Demon, Phil, the ropes did him in.
That's what they should do next week is have Finn Balor have PTS
Yeah.
Demon on the top rope and be like, oh no.
Nefarious in the chat. He says, I hear you did my boy OC dirty. It wasn't us.
It wasn't us. We just called it.
Yeah, it was Nefarious, man. It was a stinker of a match. The fans poo-pooed it. Go back and watch it, man. The fans were booing all the competitors in this match. Phil and I did the best we could to save it with our storytelling abilities, but
Don't worry, we gave out autographs. Everyone went home happy.
yep. Leandro says, I guess I'm okay with Priest going heel, but this only means his early in could be his early decline in marketing. Feel like he only served a purpose for Bad Bunny's moment, rewarded with U.S. champion. You know what? Watching Damian Priest back in NXT when we first started doing this show, I didn't think the guy had a future, and he's really proved me wrong.
He proved me right. I honestly, Leandro, I don't think marketability is really a thing anymore in professional wrestling. I think it's now they're heel and face in name only. I think it's whenever they got to go. Look at MJF. MJF cut a baby face. Not only did MJF cut the best heel promo in this month, he cut the best in February.
And the most nonsensical promo.
He cut the best babyface promo.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense for storytelling as far as I'm concerned.
But that's the thing. You don't have to. It's now just heel or face is just whoever you're fighting that week, it feels like.
Leandro says, let Priest win again. Nefarious is saying, you need to let him hit the gym then and feed him more fruit. I want to see that contract. Are we talking about OC Steve? Oh, we don't have a contract with OC Steve. I mean, do you want OC Steve out of his contract? He finally got booked. That's what he's been asking for what, months, Phil?
I mean, to show up with that match in North Carolina, that's the type of match.
Vince McSix didn't come out and tell him to start this match over. It was that bad.
Yeah.
What about the TiVo clause? Is he getting to watch his daytime TV shows? He was watching Stars tonight.
And we don't mean the premium access channel.
No. Oh my gosh. Possibly the worst match in the history of the CGWF.
Yeah. I'll go out and say it.
All right. So where are we? Oh, so finally the closing segment, Edge comes out and he calls out the locker room. He wants a challenge for WrestleMania. He doesn't think anyone's going to answer. And then AJ Styles shows up and Edge turns heel. This was a great segment.
This is the AJ Styles I have been waiting for since his John Cena feud. His tweet about calling Edge a coward, I cannot wait till next Monday. I cannot wait to see the AJ Styles response. This match is gonna be a classic.
They better do AJ right, Phil.
AJ better go over. After putting Omos over for the better part of 3 months to just be in squash matches against former members of Retribution, this has to be. This has to be it.
I think Vince actually likes AJ. I mean, AJ's always, he did the tag team thing, but he's always presented
as a star.
Yeah. And I think he just was presented with a very nice big contract too to stick around.
I agree.
Yeah. D-Wag saying, we negotiated a deal and he didn't even get out of TiVo. Crackback needs better lawyers, I guess. Leandro says, Neff, blame Vince AM. He bought out the crowd. I don't think the crowd needed money to boo that performance.
Right.
All right, now it's time to go to our favorite show, Phil. I'm talking about the I can't even talk. The colorful NXT brand, and it kicks off with the Dirty Dogs versus Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa. This has turned out to be a fun little feud.
I'm all for it. I am all for it. I think the fact that this is the type of feud Dolph Ziggler, we know what Dolph Ziggler is at this point. He's never gonna hold world championship gold again. He's never gonna be in the main event picture. But
He
damn,
makes people look great.
he makes people look great, and he makes you care about storylines. How many times do they throw him in an intercontinental storyline because they need someone to raise the prestige of the belt?
Mm-hmm.
Right? How many times do they need to get? They were doing this with Rusev when he was back in NXT. With Ziggler going from the main roster down.
Yeah. So, Braun Breaker and Ciampa get the victory. I like Ciampa wearing the Steiner tights.
I think this is a way. We said it a couple weeks ago. This is a way to keep Braun Breaker at the forefront, but also not have any ill will from the Black and Gold brand fans.
Yeah, he's got to get that Ciampa rub.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, LA Knight and Grayson Waller agreed to a last man standing match at a Roadblock. Man, this feud seems like it's been going on forever, Phil.
Yeah, last man. Thank goodness we're getting either an I Quit match or a last man standing match, the ultimate match in ending a feud.
I just hope, however this ends, LA Knight ends up on the main roster.
Agreed.
I think of the main roster, he's probably a better speaker than everyone but Roman.
Right. I think this is a good. I think LA Knight goes over, and I think he appears on Monday night, the following night. I think he'll have a lot of hardcore fans there in the area past WrestleMania. That's where he debuts next. I think he wins the last man standing match, and the next time you see him is on Monday after Mania.
I think Grayson Waller wins with help from his new heavy. They bury him under the announcer's table or something, so he can't answer the 10 count. And Grayson Waller's your winner. Grayson Waller may be the best heel in NXT, Phil.
We talk about we haven't been excited for NXT and seeing the potential stars since the Hulu days. Grayson Waller has that feel to it. He just needs, we say it every week, he just needs better in-ring gear.
Yeah. Got to get rid of those basketball shorts.
They are
Next
terrible.
Up, Dusty Classic, Indy Hartwell and Persia Parada versus Dakota Kai and Wendy Chu. One of our favorites, Wendy Chu. And Chu and Dakota Kai, the makeshift team, get the surprise victory. People, I think everyone seems to like Wendy Chu.
I think that's the only reason why they won over.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think whoever has been in charge of 2.0 is seeing the reaction. Obviously watches AEW. Obviously is trying to see what's getting over on that show and testing it on NXT. And that's the only reason why they won this match, because Wendy Chu is getting that gimmick over.
Yeah. No, she's doing a fantastic job. Next up in the bathroom break match, Amari Miller loses to Lash Legend. Man, Lash Legend is someone I just want off my TV, Phil.
I never want to see Lash Legend again on television. I know we're going to see, but man, those matches are so hard to watch.
Nefarious wants to know if we ever cover New Japan on this channel or just the fake stuff. Well, when the New Japan guys make it to the big leagues and appear on Impact and AEW, I mean, we talk about them.
Yeah. We've talked about Jay White more in the last couple of weeks than we have, because we understand the star power of New Japan Pro Wrestling, but we also understand the fact that the audience doesn't care for New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Is New Japan even a thing right now? I mean, besides their fake Los Angeles New Japan Strong stuff. I don't know. I thought I heard like their all their events were canceled or whatever.
Honestly, I thought the announcement was going to be striking a deal with New Japan. That's what I thought Tony Khan's could have been, only because how do you get Switchblade Jay White there, right?
Yeah.
And then you're just kind of like, oh, then you see Okada over there, and you're like, I'd like to get him on AEW television, especially with the way Jay White is drawing viewers. So it's really just, I mean,
I feel like I got a great idea for Okada.
Go ahead.
Bring him in with Samoa Joe. And bring back his Kato gimmick.
Vince Russo is salivating right now.
Next up, Gunter versus Solo Sikoa. Oh man, I liked this match, and I loved the video packages leading up to this. Solo Sikoa knew he was going to be in for a fight. He lost, but I feel like he's stronger for going through that loss.
I think this is a protection loss for him. I think this is the fact that this is his first loss since his first televised loss.
Yep. So
I think they don't want to get him. They don't want to have to be the Ryback of NXT.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nefarious. It is what it is. We love New Japan Pro Wrestling, but the audience does not. So
next up, Harlan versus Draco Anthony. Harlan beat down Draco, pinned him to the mat, and then afterwards gave him a really weird hug.
I'm for it.
You know who my favorite act is, Phil.
Yeah, I'm loving this. This is feeling very right to censor early Wyatt family-ish. Like really just enjoying any time they're on my screen for the right reasons.
My only problem with their act is I think they're moving them along a little too slow.
Agreed.
And I think if you were going to get rid of the cruiserweight title anyway, you should have gave it to Joe Gacy, and he could have made it the all-inclusive title.
Right, and it just doesn't get defended.
Or he wrestles against women or something.
Hilarious. Would have been great.
Yeah. But Joe Gacy is awesome. And Harlan is great in his role.
Yeah. Harlan's going to be a star. You just see it. You just know it. He's just got to develop those mic skills. And I don't think this gimmick is going to allow him to do that. So we'll see how it goes.
Next up, the new besties who just had a bonding experience doing some outdoor fun. Raquel Gonzalez and Cora Jade, they take on Valentina Feroz and Yulisa Leon. No surprise here. Gonzalez and Jade get the victory. Are they the favorites to win the Dusty Tag Classic, Phil?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it always happens. It's always... I don't think a tag team, correct me if I'm wrong, has a tag team ever won the Dusty Classic, like a tag team, like an established tag team? Because I remember Joe and Belair won it a few years ago. It always seems like the two...
Well, the Creed brothers just won for the men's.
Right. So
there you go. Next up, Von Wagner with Robert Stone versus Andre Chase with Bodie Hayward in his corner. You know what? I actually like Von Wagner paired up with Robert Stone for maybe a year, maybe 2 years. Robert Stone has been paired up with like all these cast-offs, like Frankie Monet, unfortunately, and but I like Von Wagner. I like Von Wagner as a heel.
Yes, agreed. I think I'm liking Andre Chase's face turn. He's become an interesting part of the show as a face.
Yeah, so it's surprising. Maybe they actually know what they're doing with NXT, Phil. From what Raw gives us on a practically weekly basis, sometimes we forget that NXT 2.0 is a different brand at this point. North American Championship, Carmelo Hayes versus Pete Dunne. Result, Melo defeats Dunne by pinfall. I mean, Pete Dunne, I think, is just here at this point to put over the new NXT guys. He's in that LA Knight, Tommaso Ciampa, Roddy Strong role.
And he's got to be okay with it. Us as viewers and fans can't be like, Carmelo Hayes beat Pete Dunne. Would have been my initial reaction about a year ago. About 6 months ago, I would have been like, oh, well, Pete Dunne's contract is running up, so par for the course. But now that Pete Dunne re-signed with the E, he's got to know that this is his position and he's okay with it. So we just got to be like, hey, he's going to put over Carmelo Hayes.
I was on Twitter just scrolling, Phil, and I came across an NXT UK post, and I was like, wait, that's still a thing? And I saw Mustache Mountain were defending the tag titles, and man, those guys are so money, Phil. Do you remember when they were on the main NXT brand and they came out in those British Bulldog inspired tights? How could you not like? I sometimes all the time I wonder what's Vince thinking. Those guys should have been on the main roster and one of your centerpieces of your tag division. And now they both have the long hair and the mustaches. You could sell the wigs, Phil, with the fake mustaches.
So apparently the scuttlebutt and the rumors is that NXT UK is going to be officially dead after WrestleMania. So do they bring anyone from there? Or do you just think Mustache Mountain sort of enters free agency and we don't see him for a while?
I think we would see him on someone's channel. I think Tony Khan would love Mustache Mountain.
I agree.
Oh, Leandro wants to know, oilless wrestler and move out of nowhere tonight? Well, we're not prepared for that.
Oilless wrestler will return next week. Let's call it that.
With all the CGWF action that the pod gods have been handling, we've let oilless wrestler and move out of nowhere fall to the side. We have to bring it back.
Yes.
So that does it for NXT. Phil, I saw I think it was What Culture. They posted an article about NXT 2.0. And they claim it is softcore porn. They say every storyline involves someone trying to get with someone else, and I said no, that's not the case. I mean, the Braun Breaker, Ciampa, Dolph Ziggler, a feud.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes, Pete Dunne, that has nothing to do.
No.
Imperium versus Diamond Mind. No.
No,
I mean, I think maybe he just has a little Nikita Lyons on the brain when he wrote that article.
I think he wanted to be on the other half of that pinfall.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that is like a love relationship is this new Duke Hudson, Persia Parada, Indy Hartwell love triangle.
Right.
Yeah. We got a fan, another Nikita fan out there. Amanda B says just means romance for the ladies' interest. Yeah, so I don't know. I think NXT is doing a good job. Between storyline and in-ring action or developing characters. Oh, I know another thing. They're talking about Brooks and Jensen. That segment with Elektra Lopez.
The whole thing. Let's, we want to cover the good parts of 2.0.
Do you know, I guess it's Brooks. He's Bull Buchanan's son.
Really?
Yeah.
Way to go. Look at Right to Censor and Bull Buchanan in the same night.
Yeah. Man, so that does it with wrestling. Apparently, a lot's going on. Tony Khan apparently bought Ring of Honor, so we're gonna have to catch up on some AEW. Before we do that, though, Phil, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at AnimatedPhil and the Etsy link below.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves. Make sure you subscribe to Primetime Poulton. Hit the notifications. Check out Graveyard Shift. Check out Blackout. Amanda B, thank you for sharing the links. Chat, thanks for joining us. And we'll be back probably Monday, Phil, because we're going to see AEW Revolution.
You got it.
Sunday. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.